Welcome back to the channel. This is Beetroot on Beetroot Live. Beetroot. And I have a special guest today. I'm super excited. This is Many Lights. Welcome to Beetroot Live.
Beetroot, it's a pleasure.
Yes. So really appreciate it because you've always given me exclusives, and he's an incredible artist, but he also has so many other talents. So we first met actually at Soul Kitchen Radio in Hamilton. I think it was about, I want to say like 6 years ago.
Yeah, about that.
Maybe 5-6 years ago. And you were there as basically a photographer for Esco Levi.
Yeah.
Right? Big reggae sensation here in Canada. Now we're here like 5-6 years later. You're now an artist.
Yeah, been an artist since I was young.
Since you were young. So
just been like quiet about it.
You've been very quiet. And you have a quiet nature, but when you speak, it's loud. So you always have something really intelligent to say, really insightful to say. You have this great peaceful energy about you, and you're bringing that to your music. But before we get to that, you're wearing Give.
Yeah.
And I saw you with this gear on years ago, and I loved it. Not even knowing that it actually is an acronym for something, correct?
Yeah, there's an acronym too. It's just Give by itself, but there's also an acronym.
And what's the acronym?
It's Generate Inspiring Vibes Every Day.
Generate inspiring vibes every day, which you definitely do. And I think when we get to talking about what's happening with you right now, we're really going to get inspired. So Give, are you in stores? Where can we get your gear?
Not in stores yet. Just been spreading the word Give on its own. It's part of my mission in life. So just been handing out bracelets and stickers, just encouraging people to explore the word give and its meaning, because give is a very powerful word and it has a lot to offer us.
Yeah. And wearing that on you just means so much. Every time I wear it, and thankfully I've been able to get some gear from you. You brought some for me today. I'm so grateful. I'm really excited to wear it. But I've had a couple of Give pieces for a while now. And every time I wear it, people question me. Like, I love it. Where did you get this? Where can I get it? So I know that when you're ready to fully launch this Give brand, that you're going to do really well. Let's talk about your music journey. So a while back, you did release a single, but I think it was very cash. Like, I don't think you did a lot of promo behind it.
Yeah, it was just to do some test marketing because I just started my record label. So I wanted to see what I was capable of achieving with my own label.
Right. And then when I recently saw you, you were actually with Gabby Don, and he's doing amazing right now, right?
Yeah, he's doing great.
Like you see his trajectory. And so I'm envisioning the same for you.
Right, thanks.
So tell us about this single. This is like your launch to the world, basically. And you just finished telling me off camera, like some big news about it that I didn't know. So this is a rhythm that other artists are going to be on.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's by super like legendary producer Red Rose.
Yeah, Red Rose put this project together.
Yeah. And so is there a rhythm name?
Yeah, it's called Awesome Sauce Rhythm.
Awesome Sauce.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Classic Red Rose name.
Yeah, exactly. It's bringing the flavor for sure. So tell me before we talk about your single, who else is on this rhythm? Because it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So far, Beanie Man, Bounty Killer, and Red Rose have a single out on it.
Wow. Do you feel pressure?
No.
You feel greatness, right?
I'm just grateful.
Grateful is the word.
I'm grateful.
You're grateful.
Man. Yeah, because Red Rose gave me the opportunity to be in a position with these guys, and that's very, very special. And I couldn't drawn this out any other way for myself. This is like what I dreamed of my whole life, coming out this way with people so great. I'm just grateful.
Yeah, because not a lot of people have that opportunity.
Yeah.
So how did you link with Red Rose? Tell me more about that.
It's a God story. Like I was just in Anato Bay, where we're from in Jamaica, and I was just hanging out in the like town part.
Yeah.
And I saw my friend Blacks, and we're just hanging out by his little mini shop, and we're talking, and some guy walks by, and that guy's his friend, and he comes to talk to me, and Blacks is like, "I don't know, man, yeah, talk to right now, about me." He's like, A big star I talk to, not make him fool you. And then and he's like, yeah. And he goes, I'm a big artist, simple, you see him. And he's showing up. And the guy's like, oh yeah, I know Terry Lennon.
Mm.
And he's like, I'm gonna call him right now. So he calls him, and Blacks also told him that I was into photography and film. So he calls him, he gets Terry Lennon on the line, and he gives me the phone. Now, mind you, I had no idea who Terry Lennon was at this time.
Right.
They're like, you don't know Terry Lennon? I said, no. They said, the guy with the big song on the radio, I am a child of God. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that song. And I said, yeah, that's him. He's a legend. And I said, oh, cool. So I ended up on the phone with him. We spoke, and I told him what I did. And we arranged to, like, meet or talk. And so I took his number. And from that, I didn't, like, call him or nothing for a couple months. But I kept hearing a song on the radio, like, playing here and there.
Yeah.
So that kept reminding me until finally I said, yo, let me call this guy. So I called him. We had a conversation, and he said, let's meet at my house, blah, blah, blah. So I was going to meet him at his house. And then on that day, he changed the plans, and he said, I'm going to the studio in Kingston, so you should come. We'll meet there. I'm like, all right. So me and Grace took a trip down to Kingston, and we went to the studio and met him, and he brought us in the studio session, and then he was recording a big time song, and we ended up in the studio with him and all these session musicians that play for all the top guys in Jamaica.
Wow.
And I just kept looking at Grace like, he doesn't even know who I am.
Yeah.
He has no idea that I've been making music since 4. It's a God story. I'm just all of a sudden in this room with all these elite musicians.
These giants, yeah.
And so they heard that I did recording studio engineering, and even the guy that was engineering, he had to go open the door for someone at one point because they keep the doors locked. And so he went to go open the door, but before he went, he looked at me and said, yeah, engineer. All of a sudden, I'm sitting in the recording chair, and they don't know who I am. Nothing about me.
Yeah.
And I look back at Grace, I'm like, it's just like, what is going on here? And I'm like, and then, so he comes back, he takes a seat. And that's when, like, Red Rose walked in. And I didn't know who Red Rose was at this time either.
Right.
I knew his song, obviously, Tempa. We all do.
Mm-hmm.
So he walks in, and then Terry Lennon introduces him. That's the big man. That's the manager. He's the producer. I make everything happen and sound nice. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I met him. And this guy was just different, man.
Mm-hmm.
Red Rose is young forever. This guy was spicy. He's just having a good time. He's funny about everything.
Right.
Just a good energy.
Good energy, yeah.
I was like, wow, this guy's cool. That's all I could think about. I didn't even care who he was. He was just a cool person.
Right.
And then, so I ended up getting everybody's contact in the room, and I had the opportunity to show Red Rose and Terry Lennon and some of the guys in the studio one of my unreleased videos and some of my songs. And they took a liking to it. There's a lot of us, so it wasn't the focus, but they took a liking to it. So I said to them, hey, I would love to see this session like come to a closing, because that was just their first session. So I want to go to the next one. So they invited me, and I got to go to the next one. And by the way, at this session, I just brought my camera and took some photos for them. So I'm in the studio, and we're at Fathead Studio this time for the second session. And Beanie Man's sister was there. And not Beanie Man, sorry. Buju Banton's sister was there doing backups. And I got to give her a gift bracelet. And that was a surreal moment too. It's like
absolutely
meeting someone else just like that.
Yeah.
And nobody knows who I am again. So after the session was done, they started to play this rhythm. So Red Rose is playing this rhythm. He's like, and there's a girl on. He said, "This is my new rhythm coming out." And he's like, "Yeah, man, it bad." And he's just having a good time. And the rhythm was really nice.
Yeah.
I was like quietly really enjoying it. And as soon as I got a chance, I waited for a break, and I just said, "Yo, Red Rose, send me this. I'll kill this." Just took a shot.
Right. Take your shot.
I took a shot.
Nobody does that. Like, some people do it, but a lot of us are fearful. Like, we're fearful of failure.
Yeah.
And maybe stepping out of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
So you just said that to him. What did he say?
I took a shot.
Yeah.
I had to.
Yeah.
What other time is there? God brought me here.
Right. Surrounded you with all these incredible people.
So
Yeah.
he looks at me like this and he goes, "But yeah, man, wait, me send you upon WhatsApp." So he gave me a shot.
Right.
So I took that, and when I was at home and I wrote a song and I recorded it and I brought it to him, and then I played it in his car. And then when the song finished, he was looking down on his phone and he said, "You good, you know?"
I love it. That simply.
And that's all he said. He just kept it so. So I was like, wow, Red Rose likes my song. So that's great. And that's when he revealed to me who was on the rhythm. And
that must have been mind-blowing at that moment.
Yeah, because I had no idea.
Yeah.
So that's when he told me that Buju Banton's on the rhythm, Beanie Man's on the rhythm, Capleton's on the rhythm, that Popcorn's on the rhythm. And that's when I was at a loss for words. I was just like, wow.
So it's like this whole experience up until this moment has literally just been like divine, like intervention. Like this is what you're supposed to do, because there's no way that you couldn't take it any other way.
No other way.
There's no other way that it could be.
No, I pray about these things.
Yeah.
I ask God for it. Anything I ask God for, it comes, but in its own timing.
Yeah.
I just do my thing and magical things happen.
Yes. We always say God in time.
God in time.
That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really, really happy. I'm super excited about this.
Yeah.
So let's get to the actual video, because this is what we're debuting today. The name of the song is
Rampa.
Rampa. Explain to us what that means for those of us who might not know.
Well, it's a term I came up with. Rampa is somebody that just does completely nonsensical things. They are tricksters. They're liars. They manipulate you. They take things that aren't theirs. They just ramp too much. You invited me to come out. So exclusive BTS. I'm really grateful for that.
You're a true star. You have two gals taking the air.
Yeah.
A real star. It's freezing that day. You had the give gear on. People will see it. You were out in a field. Where were we? I don't even remember.
Caledonia. Caledon, sorry.
Caledon, right. Caledon. And it was super cold that day. And you were a total gangster. You had dancers out there in the snow. So I think people are going to love it.
I feel like this is just going to spark a lot of interest. And I'm going to meet a lot more people. And I have no idea what direction that'll take me in. I'm open to doing a lot of different things. It'd be cool to work with a lot of different artists. My dream collab is not around. It's Bob Marley.
Oh.
But if the family wants to give me a stump,
shout out to the Marleys. Let us know where we can find you.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
One word, MANYLIGHTS. Beetroot Live. It's coming to you with a vibes. Yo, Red Rose, how going?
Yes, many lies. Youths, them a get out of hand. Them a move rampa.